السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الحلال بين وإن الحرام بين وبينهما أمور مشتبهات لا يعلمهن كثير من الناس. وكما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ما قال ربنا وقال إن الله من الشاهدين والشاهدين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا مولانا محمد عبدك ورسوله النبي الرحمة كما تحب وترضى عدد ما تحب وترضى كلما تقرأ وتأكل كلما تقرأ عنك. Respected elders, brothers, sisters, and friends, for the past 2 weeks, with the exception of last week, we've been speaking about the 4 famous hadith that Imam Abu Dawood rahmatullahi alayhi said are the cores of deen. Hadith allati yudaru alayhi deen. That deen revolves around these 4 core principles. So we've discussed 2 of them so far, and today we come to the 3rd of these. And just as the first hadith, إِنَّ الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, it showed a person how to ensure that their ibadat, their worship is okay. And the second hadith, مِنْ حُسْنِ إِسْلَامِ الْمَرْءِ تَرْكُهُ مَا لَا يَعْنِيهِ, that a person's Islam, the excellence that concern them. In that hadith, we learn how to value ourselves. This hadith today will show us how to navigate the end of time. We're still moving nearer to Qiyamah, right? Every single day is nearer to Qiyamah. Every single day is further away from that golden age of Islam, from the time when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was here. Such that Anas radiallahu ta'ala, the hadith of Shama'il al-Tirmidhi, he said that we hadn't finished bearing Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam come in our heart, right? So each day we're moving further and further and further away from that. You know, I'll mention something regarding this as well. Imam Tirmidhi rahmatullahi alayhi says in Shama'il al-Tirmidhi, a story is mentioned about him, an incident from his life. When he was young, a woman came to him, very beautiful. She loved him. She wanted him to do haram. He refused. Astaghfirullah, how could I do this? Later on, much later in life, he was an old man. He was making wudu one day, and that thought came in his mind, you know, all of these years ago, that woman invited me towards haram. I can't believe I didn't take it. You know, like, the thought came in his mind, like, you know, she was very this or that. Immediately he began to cry and cry and cry. He said, how could I think of this? How could this thought even come to my mind? And he fell asleep. And he's a great muhaddith, right? His book is ranked up there in the famous 6 books of hadith. So in his dream, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, don't worry, you haven't become bad. It's just that when you were younger, it was closer to my time. And now we've gotten further, it's further from my time. So things have, even the hearts of people will change as time goes on and on and on. So this hadith today shows us how to navigate in these tricky times. This is the lengthiest of these 4 hadiths. And there's many things, maybe we'll discuss some of them this week, maybe next week, maybe we'll finish it, wallahu a'lam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّ الْحَلَالَ بَيِّن وَإِنَّ الْحَرَامَ بَيِّن. Halal is clear, haram is clear. Every Muslim can tell you, for example, you know, water is halal, right? There's nothing doubtful about that. Chicken is halal. Okay, cow is halal. Every Muslim can tell you, وَإِنَّ الْحَرَامَ بَيِّن, haram is clear, pork is haram, alcohol is haram, right? These things are very clear. وَبَيْنَهُمَا أُمُورٌ مُشْتَبِهَاتٌ لَا يَعْلَمُهُنَّ كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ. But in between halal and haram, there's a gray area. There's doubtful matters that a lot of people, they don't know about, okay? So now take pork out of it, take chicken out of it, now take different ingredients inside of food, right? That have complex names that are, you know, newly genetically engineered food day by day. Is this halal? Is this haram? It's doubtful until we verify, right? As new things are coming out. فَمَنِ اتَّقَى الشُّبُهَاتِ اسْتَبْرَأَ لِدِينِهِ وَعِرْضِهِ. And whoever stays away from doubtful matters altogether. Because Allah's given us so many halal things. Whether it's food, whether it's transactions, whether it's relationships. Allah's given us many halal things, right? Whoever stays away from the doubtful things, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِسْتَبْرَأَ لِدِينِهِ وَعِرْضِهِ. This person preserves their deen, but along with their deen, they preserve something else. They preserve their honor. وَمَنْ وَقَعَ فِي الشُّبُهَاتِ وَقَعَ فِي الْحَرَامِ. And whoever goes into the doubtful matters, for sure they'll go into haram. كَالرَّاعِي يَرْعَى حَوْلَ الْحِمَى. Like a shepherd who grazes his animals near the border of the king's pastures. Means if you go into the king's pastures, if you take your animals in there, it's a big crime. If you're by the border, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, one day or the other will come where these animals will cross over into that restricted area. يُوشِكُ أَن يُرْتَعَ فِيهِ أَلَا وَإِنَّ لِكُلِّ مَلِكٍ حِمَى. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Allah, listen up. Every king has their boundary, has their restricted area. وَإِنَّ حِمَى اللَّهِ مَحَارِمُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's restricted area is the haram things. Don't go in there. And then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, أَلَا وَإِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ مُضْغَةً. Verily, listen up, inside of the hearts there is a piece of flesh. And if that piece of flesh is good, if it's solid, صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّ. The entire body will be good, upright, solid, healthy. وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّ. And when it's messed up, when it's corrupted, the entire body is corrupted. أَلَا وَهِيَ الْقَلْبُ. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, verily, it's the heart. Now how do all of these things go together? This hadith, it teaches us a lot of things. Number one, as I mentioned before, halal and haram, they're abundantly clear. Number two, there's doubtful matters. These are things where there's conflicting evidence. Is it permissible or not? We can't categorically say that these things are haram, but they're better to avoid. Why? Because they can lead us to haram. Also, something we might consider doubtful may actually be haram, right? A person thinks it's doubtful. I saw online, I saw some video, and this guy said that it's halal. And the person starts acting on it, though everybody else is saying it's haram. Later on it becomes clear to the person that such and such transaction, such and such stock, such and such type of cryptocurrency, some of them are fine, such and such type of cryptocurrency is haram. It becomes clear later on. Now the person, it was doubtful to them. Actually they fell into haram. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he is advising us, if we stay away from these things, we'll protect our deen, because we won't go into haram. We won't go into Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's restricted area. And then I'll give an example. MashaAllah, in this community, we had this inheritance workshop recently. We have, MashaAllah, very wealthy people in our community that are well off. Yet, what do? They don't try to, just settle on hearing one thing, seeing one thing online, and then saying, okay, I'm going to, give my children wealth like this. No. They're asking, they go to different scholars, they have workshops. Why? They want to ensure. Despite having looked up the matter themselves, they keep going to different scholars and setting up things for the community in order to ensure that their deen is taken care of. Now for sure, whatever transaction, however they leave their estate to their heirs, inshallah, it'll be completely halal. There'll be no doubt about it. It won't be that later on a person will say, well, this is wrong, this is wrong. Say, no, I talked to this person, this person, this person, this person, right? Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also gives us this concept. He says that, I'm just going to paraphrase in English, the hadith is in Shu'abul Iman, that a Muslim, a believer, can never reach the level of being a pious person until they leave those things that are permissible out of fear of the impermissible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does this with us as well. In Ramadan, eating is halal, drinking is halal, relations with the spouse are halal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibits all of these on us in Ramadan. Why? To train us that you can't have everything that you want whenever you want. Because if you're in the habit of doing whatever you want, whenever you want, one day you'll want to do something haram. And if you're not used to stopping yourselves, you won't be able to have that resolve to abstain. And then you'll end up going into haram. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling us this. The next thing that we learn from this hadith is balance, right? Is waswasa and shubha. These are two words. Now it could be that we hear this hadith, avoid doubtful matters. So now a person that if they become paranoid, their whole life they may think that every single thing is doubtful. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has given us guidance for this as well. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us very strictly, if there's no probable cause for a thing being haram, you can assume it to be haram. Every single thing in our deen we assume to be valid unless there's evidence contrary. For example, you come into the masjid, right? All sorts of people come in the masjid. You can't say, I'm not sure if the carpet is tahir or not. Maybe a child ran around and they used the bathroom here. Therefore, I must pray on a jani mas. I must bring a prayer mat. No, there's no reason to think this. That's a waswasa, right? But if there's something, if there's some cause, if there's some reasonable doubt for us to think that, okay, something might not be pure, something might be haram, and there's some evidence towards that, then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells us to abstain. Along with that, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he told us we should ask our heart as well. Al-ithmu ma haka fi sadrika wa karihta an yattali alayhi an-nas. Many times we come across a doubtful matter. And so what happens is we go and we start asking one imam, he says it's haram. Go and ask another imam, he says it's haram. Third imam, they say it's halal. Then you go online, you look, haram, 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 one person says it's halal. Why are you looking so many times? Because you yourself feel bad about it, right? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, before going and asking every single person, ask your own heart. Al-ithmu ma haka fi sadrika wa karihta an yattali'a alayhi an-nas. That a sin is that which bothers you inside. It rattles inside of your heart and you dislike that people find out about it. And this is where we connect to the other part of the hadith. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that a person's honor is corrected, is protected when a person stays away from doubtful things as well. Because when you have the habit of staying away from doubtful things, there won't be any chance for anybody to say anything about you at all. Your honor will be protected, your deen will be protected. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave this example. Once he was walking at night with his wife, Safiya radiallahu anha. And there were two sahabis who saw him, this late at night. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam immediately stopped them and said, this is Safiya, this is my wife. They said, Ya Rasulullah, why would we ever doubt you? He said, no, shaitan, he goes through the veins of a person, just like blood flows. Shaitan will make some thought come in your heart, I'm clearing up this misunderstanding right now. Similarly for us as well, if we stay away from anything doubtful, then we'll be clear. And lastly, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he mentioned the heart. How is the heart related to all of this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us on the Day of Judgment that إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, that the only heart that's acceptable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a sound heart. A sign of a sound heart is that a person feels uncomfortable about those things that are doubtful and they stay away from them. Whereas if a person doesn't really care, if a person says, yeah, whatever, everything is halal, it doesn't matter, without ever thinking, maybe this is doubtful, then that's a sign that that person's heart is not sound. And when a person begins to focus and realize that every single thing I do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask me about this on the Day of Judgment, that will cause them to be a little more cautious. That will cause them to go with those things that are clearly halal. And of course, stay away from the haram things, but even stay away from the doubtful things. And in that case, that's a sign that the person has a sound heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people of sound heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who stay away from doubtful matters. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people whose deen is protected and whose honor is protected. Wa akhiru da'wana. الحمد لله الأكرم الذي خلق الإنسان وكرم وعلمه من البيان ما لم يعلم. سبحان الذي لا يحصي امتنانه باللسان لا بالقلم. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه نجوم طريق الأمم. أما بعد، فإن علم الشرائع والأحكام هو أعظم فرائض الإسلام، ومن ثم أمر به وحط عليه تعليمه وتعلمه. فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: بلغوا عني ولو آية. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام: من يرد الله به خيرا يفقهه في الدين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة ويرجو رحمة ربه. قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون؟ إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. إنه تعالى جواد كريم ملك مرحوم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له، واشهد ان سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى اله واصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. اعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد بعدد من صلى وصام. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد بعدد من قعد وقام. وصلى الله تعالى على جميع الانبياء والمرسلين والملائكه المقربين والخلفاء الراشدين وعلى السته الباقيه من العشره المبشره وسائر المهاجرين والانصار والتابعين الابرار الاخيار الى يوم القرار رضوان الله تعالى عليهم اجمعين. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الاحياء منهم والاموات انك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. ربنا زغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم انصر إخواننا في كل مكان. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.